Great morning, fellow traders. This is Austin. Tuesday, August 5th. We have crude oil here wedging up in the overnight. Draw some lines for you. Everyone likes lines. Why don't we draw some? There's this, and there is this. To the downside, there's generally this to the upside. And those aren't precise. I mean, that's, essentially what price has done. It's wedged itself up. There was a buy signal around 98.45, which I stepped away from. I stepped away for a minute, and that was around just before 7 o'clock. 7:15, by the way, Eastern. And a little while ago, there was a buy signal 98.45. I wasn't present for it. I stepped out, get another cup of coffee. I've been here since 6. And that was that. So now we're on a secondary buy signal. And for all I know, price is going to chop from the 98.60 zone to the 98.40 zone repeatedly. It's pretty much hung in that zone since the close of stocks last night, since 4 o'clock on Monday, this being Tuesday. It's pretty much wandered around in a pretty narrow range. So the game with trading crude oil, and quite frankly anything at all these days, but crude oil is what we're discussing here. You identify key support and resistance zones where price has failed or succeeded to do something or not in the recent past, and then you wait for price action to trade around those levels again, and you get long or short. And you keep your risk minimal. You keep your drawdowns capped, and as soon as price makes at least one favorable move that you capture, you're done for that period of time. And that's trading. Now, you can complicate it more than that if you like. You can apply that approach to more than one symbol, or you can sit there and try to trade all day and night, or anything in between. But the essence of trading is literally that simple. No matter what, you identify key support and resistance. You learn to work around that. You enter and fill where you can. You keep your losses small, and as soon as you're sufficiently profitable, you're done for the day. End of story. So we'll see what happens here between now and the end of my trading today.
Order filled.
Oh, well, that one's out for minus 6 ticks. It slipped a tick, which is not unusual. I would be long again somewhere in the 98.60 zone, or somewhere in the 98.40 zone. And that in a zone means anywhere within 5 ticks, for example. So I'm a buyer on a pullback, or I'm a buyer on a breakout, and I'm sitting and keeping myself busy in between. 7:17. Okay, 8:10 Eastern. Been long twice, short once, and the first short stop. So all three of those have resulted in minus 5 ticks or thereabouts, and now we're short again, taking the risk off. I haven't commented on all of them. I'm spending a little time checking out a different live room operation that does something otherwise, that offers open views on Tuesdays, and they had called for long side on crude around 98.40, and I was on the short side of that twice, and the long side of that obviously is a net loser, and the short side for now is performing. I don't know if they're going to claim that trade call or not. It was called ahead of time and then kind of buried, but in any event, I've got split attention span. I'm not going to be there very much longer. There's just a couple of things I wanted to check out, and then I'll be back with you full attention. So, in essence, we drew this wedge here early, and what we have is price failed up here for whatever reason, and then it plunged straight through. When it's making abrupt moves like this, it often turns around and comes right back the opposite direction. It's often going nowhere. So I would expect prices either going lower or it's going nowhere, and this is going to be my last effort until past 9 o'clock, it being 8:12 Eastern now, so it's my last effort until 9 o'clock, and then we'll see what happens. Of course, if this one runs great distance, it's my last effort period for the day. So remember, we're only looking to catch, to accumulate 40 ticks or so, 40 cents in crude oil specifically per day or greater. Obviously I'll accept 50 or 100 or whatever, and then go from there. So sit, watch, and wait. Looking for downside continuation potential. 8:12 Eastern. Okay, 8:40. We're getting near the open of the pit session, and prices stalled out at a visible zone here. So what I've done is, find my arrow.
Order
Stalled
filled.
out, and you see those tails. So all I did was move this to a 5 tick stop, which of course just got whipped out there by whatever news is responding. So that's it until past 9 o'clock. Just not a lot went on in the pre-market, this kind of thing here, and then that little reflex stab down. And like we said, when you see this type of thing, this type of sideways surging, it generally tends to come back. So we'll look to see where that comeback resolves after 9 o'clock. It's now 8:41. Okay, how about an update? The position I had a stop on got whipped out here in this little spike. That was from 93.35 area, 93.30 area, I'm sorry, whatever. And then it got whipped out here, and now price is working its way back down there again in this stall zone. And what I'm looking at is layers of congestion around 98.15. So I'll take the next probe there. And if they break them down below 98, then I'm probably going to try a breakdown. So I'm definitely going to try a breakdown. So I'm either working this congestion area here, and I'm actually going to
Order canceled.
increase that risk.
Order
We're at 9
pending.
cents now, and I'm just using straight out single contracts in this demonstration here for those purposes, so as not to confuse people that are like, well, I don't do that, I just take one contract and what is the trade and da da da. So let's just make it simple for everyone, and we will spend this week here single in, single out purposes. How's that sound? So anyway, looking to sell either 98.15 or the 98 zone.
Order pending.
First, and then, or both, and then we'll go from there. So that's what we have right now. The current box score is minus 9 cents total, and we await the next action event, whether that's minutes or hours from now. 9:09. Okay, update at 9:20 Eastern. There was no pullback fill in the 98.15 zone, and there's been no breakdown through the 98 zone. We have a sell signal around 98.05, which I have taken, and I'm using a 10-tick stop. Basically, when price is sideways and congestive and inside the open range here, a lot of things could happen. Now, mind you, between the last exchange and this one, the last one was out at 98 quarter trailed, and then this into 98. So I gave up 20 cents inside of this whipsaw action here, and quite frankly, they might whip right back up and take this one out. If that's the case, then we will what I'm going to do then is widen my parameters, and I would be looking for action zones of, say, long around above 98.20, and I'd be looking short, below the 98 zone. So I'm sort of in between right now. Let me say it another way. From 98 up to 98.20, that 20-cent range, that's sort of fuzzy math, no man's land. Signals will happen in there, but it's a chop zone. So if this stop gets taken out, that would leave me at minus 16 ticks cumulative, and then I would be looking long 98.20 plus or short 98 or lower, and I would be ignoring 98 to 98.20 in the middle. So I have hopes for this one. Hopefully it runs the distance and everything's groovy, and that's that. But I have contingency plans. You must too. 9:22. Okay, this is either going to work well or it's going to nick us for minimal damage. It's 9:26 Eastern. I have a double order now. One short position from 98.05 and one from 98. Even basically prices is dropping through layers of support, layers of signals, and so one of two things are going to happen. It's just going to keep chopping, or it's about to break. And we're near the 930 mark. And in addition to that, prices at or below and failing around the bottom of its open range. So I took a shot. We'll see if this double sequence here works out. If it doesn't, not a big deal. It's no more risk than I had with the single position there. The only thing I've done is brought my stops exposure lower to noise. So if it works out, it's going to work out great. If it doesn't, it's going to be minimal damage, and that's the decision I made. This goes back to the blog post I put up a little bit ago in the pre-market here on Tuesday, August 5th, talking about, it depends on you, which it does. There's so much of trading that are individual decisions based on your understanding of markets, your understanding of the particular symbol, your understanding of your methodology and what you are trying to accomplish on the combination of entry signals, risk management, profit objectives. And that risk management also includes your cumulative, your running profit and loss balance. Are you in the hole? Are you in the black? Are you around par? What kind of risks do you dare take right now based on what you see in the charts? It's very, very personalized. Trading is something that you can be shown what to do, but you have to learn how to do it. Right? That's the best way to say it. Nobody in trading can show you how to do it. They can show you what to do. All right. In other words, here's a place where here's how you measure price. This is an uptrend. This is a downtrend. Here's where you might want to get long. Here's where you might want to get short and why. But then learning the how. How specifically you get filled and how specifically you manage your stops and your profit objectives and so on is very personalized. For example, the earlier short demonstrated here from 98.35, maybe somebody else would have left their stop order up at 98.35, and in which case that would still be active, and that particular sequence would be 35-40 cents in favor right now instead of trailed out for 5 or 6 ticks, whatever it was. So there's no only single way to trade. There are many, many variations using the same general criteria. Moral of the story, 929. Okay, I'm looking to see where my prompts are. It is, tag time is at 10:22. I am short from 98 and 97.92. No, I'm sorry, 97.98 and 97 even. 97.90. Here and there, there's the blended. That's what's going on. 6 tick stop on this position. If it's taken out, then I concede the downside because all they've done is just whip and chop, and you can see that on the 5-minute chart. It's just all whip and chop so far in the pit. Anything that happened pre-market, has made its move wherever, and we've already documented. I got taken out. I self-taken out of the 35 position around 25. If the 35 had been held through all of this noise, then it would be up 45 at this moment in time. But it's not, and that's how it is. Over in stocks land, they're just kind of chopping all over the place. The TF has made more V turns than you can shake a stick at. The S&P is sitting inside of its open range. So nothing going on in stocks and nothing material happening in crude. It's just a matter of where the next program slam comes from. So that's what we have. This one gets taken out, then I concede the downside, and I'd be looking for an upside reversal, or I'd be looking for a later portion of the day, 10:24. Okay, 10:45 update, minus 20 cents. just not there's nothing that has gone anywhere is that I've been able to hold a position in it because and of course, I've been short all the way down, and so stopped out here, stopped out here, stopped out here, and then stopped out here. There's just the market has gone down this entire time, not far. It's gone. I can't barely read that. 50 cents, 55 cents, the range, but just one of those chopwards downwards. No straight line moves. And I've had a couple opportunities to about scratch out at even, but whether I'm at break even or minus 20 cents is at this point in the day is not that relevant. So, um, no plans for now. Just gonna sit, watch, and wait. I'm going to be idle from about 11:30 to about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So this may be a day where just not a lot happens. We'll see. 10:46. Okay. Ooh.
Order
Short
pending.
97.85, 97.75, and they've snapped down to the 97.50 zone and are coming back. So what I'm going to do here is now that is a scratch situation for the day. So worst case scenario is scratch for the day. Best case is they'll go a little further. I mean, this is what we're working with here. Chop, 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 surge. And quite frankly, stocks are the same way. If you look at a S&P chart, it's mud ugly. Let's do that. There is positive tickage, and you can see price whipping around here. So actually, I'm going to take this risk in case they slip it out. And just have a thing about I would hate to see like 19 ticks there rather than 21. So anyway, just wasn't like I said before, I've been working the short side of all of these sequences here and just getting popped on all of them, and that's how it went. You can see how spastic the tape is. We're not in a trend situation, it's just a reactionary tape. So I'll just keep working the order lower until a pop takes it out, if it doesn't right here right now, and then that concludes the day.
Order filled.
And that concludes the day. I'm not really interested in trading the afternoon section, or in all honesty, from now until noon. It's 11:10 Eastern. I don't want to trade from now until noon with price looking that way on that chart without structure. And I really don't want to trade illiquid slap chop from 1:30 to 2:30. So I'm just gonna call it a day here, and we will move into tomorrow, Wednesday, which is the weekly inventory report, and then the process there is light dabbling in the pre-market, and then pretty much sit idle until the 10:30 news release, and then expect a 100 cent or greater straight line move and try to take something out of that. So that's the plan for tomorrow. But as for today, it's in the books. Hope this helps. See you then. Have a great one.